my motto in life is first say yes, then freak out, and then make it work.
Say yes, freak out, make it work. I'll adopt that. I'll take it.
So that's me. I freaked out and we're making it work. And we already have 500 surrogates on our database, 5,000 egg donors, and over 40 fertility providers, which makes us pretty much the largest database in the world.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started.
20-Minute Leaders is a proud supporter of Make-A-Wish Israel and Tech to Peace, and is in proud collaboration with Secret Chord Ventures, J Ventures, Riverside FM, Fusion VC, Birthright Excel, J Impact, Leap, Google for Startups, and Hippo, and in media partnership with CTech. Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders here at Google for Startups. I'm really excited to be talking about a really big part of society, family building and family creation. And I'm really honored to be hosting Ronny from Expecting, talking to us about how expecting.ai is doing exactly that. Ronny is the co-founder and CMO of expecting.ai, a full-stack marketer with 15 years of experience in marketing, brand building, and chief revenue officer in enterprise and startup environments, spanning across various industries such as online marketplaces, automotive, retail, and more. Ronny leads brand and product strategy and seeks to combine traditional marketing concepts alongside generating a transformation in customer engagement achieved with data-driven marketing methods. Ronny has a master's degree in communication and management from Tel Aviv University, started her career in Adler Chomski in Gray, one of Israel's largest advertising agencies, managing global accounts, and then switched to the client side as the head of marketing for Switch, the online marketplace startup by Colmobil Corp. Following her startup experience, Ronny led Hyundai's marketing in Israel, where she initiated a digital transformation across the distribution chain, transforming the brand to a data-driven operation. Ronny, welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm really excited because you're working on one of the most interesting problems that we have in the world today. You know, generations are shifting, perceptions are different, families are different. The way we perceive families, we perceive relationships. It's really quite remarkable what's happening, and we're in 2022, and you're the co-founder and chief marketing officer of Expecting.ai. And so thank you very much for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me. We will address the issues about one in 8 people in America are suffering from infertility, 1 in 6 in the world, 1 in 4 in China. This has become a global pandemic, and the numbers are growing yearly. So we have a lot to speak about. I hope you have time for me.
Well, one in how many in the world?
1 in 6 in the world.
1 in 6 in the world. That's about 18% of the world.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close your eyes. Imagine your friends. One of them is fighting infertility. They can be, due to a health issue or other stuff, but from the beginning. And
no worries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, 1 in 6 in the world are suffering and fighting infertility, and we are here to help them. Also, you can add to that the gay community. In the past 10 years, it's more likely that they will want to have children as well. And you have celebrities like Kim Kardashian that is bringing a lot of awareness to the fact that surrogacy is out there and it's an option. So we have many intended parents in the world that will turn to surrogacy, egg donation, sperm donation, IVF treatments. So there are a lot of people that needs to go through this roller coaster journey, and most of them don't even know where to start.
Wow. They
have a million questions in mind. So basically, expecting.ai is the one single place where they can come and start their journey in one single place. Mm-hmm. And when they have all these questions, and when they have to find a surrogate, egg donor, agency, fertility clinics, mental health professional, insurance, it goes on and on. Mm-hmm. And it's overwhelming. So now there's one single place where they can come and easily connect and start their journey in more seamless experience.
So I want to understand the overwhelming portion of it just a little bit, because, I didn't know that it's 1 in 6 have infertility, and you would assume that this, we hear a lot of statistics all day long about
but
the
no
world.
one speaks about it. I mean,
so why is it such a lonely problem?
I think that one of the best parts in my job, the reason that I wake up with a huge smile on my face every day, is that I really get to build families, and I get to speak to people that feel very, very lonely.
Right.
Sometimes they don't even share it with their mother or their best friend, because think about a regular pregnancy. We won't even tell anyone until, 12 weeks at least, not to jinx it, knock on wood. So when it comes to this complex and costly and long journey, they don't want to disappoint anyone, and they don't want to share it with anyone. And then we get a lot of times, we get sentences like, so what are you there? You're just, our angels. You're just going to hold my hand. And when I'm crying in bed, and I'm like, yes, this is why I'm here. Our company does not charge any fees from intended parents. We're here to help. And I think that this is something that personally I felt is missing in every single thing that I did until now.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was a marketeer. I was born a marketeer, probably. I knew ads by heart when I was 4 years old. Nobody could listen to me saying, Nigmeru Clementinot is an ad in Hebrew. So when the moment came and Nadav, my co-founder, when he talked to me about what he's working on, it clicked immediately.
Take me back to that moment.
Okay.
Paint me the picture of when
you really want to know. Okay, 100%. It was right after the birth of my third child, and the exact moment Tim Robbins was in Israel, and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to focus on my family. I'm not going to chase this career anymore. This life is not balanced. I'm going to stop everything. I'm going to head to my family. And he said, wow, it's wonderful. Listen, you have to check this out. And I'm like, I'm going to say no, I'm going to say no, I'm going to say no. But my motto in life is first say yes, then freak out, and then make it work.
Say yes, freak out, make it work. I'll adopt that. I'll take it.
So that's me. I freaked out, and we're making it work. And we already have 500 surrogates on our database, 5,000 egg donors, and over 40 fertility providers, which makes us pretty much the largest database in the world for a third-party reproduction suppliers or vendors or partners. However you look at them, they're my friends, all of them.
Wow. The
intended parents, I'm there for them, but also we care a lot about creating value to the surrogates, who are amazing women who put their bodies out there. And we have these perceptions, as you said, that are changing right now. In order to become a surrogate, you have to be this amazing person who probably has very, very easy deliveries, and you want to help another family. Mm-hmm. You're not doing it just for the money. Yeah, you get compensated for it, and that's okay. But it's not just for the money. And they're going through a screening process that can take up to 6 months just to make sure that they are the right person for this job, because they're going to carry somebody else's baby in their body. So they will have home visits and background check. And, mental health professionals will speak to them for a very long time just to make sure that everything is going right. So first of all, yes, let's change our perception. These women are amazing. And we work very hard to make it easier for them to start the journey, because they have a million questions as well. They're going through a very long process as well. And they want to be compensated and to find the right match. So we have the intended parents, we have those women, and we have the agencies. And the agencies were doing very, very well. They've been operating for like 25 years.
Yeah.
But then COVID hit, and suddenly the sky is closed. Everything is closed. Nothing is working. And they need to switch to digital. Mm-hmm. Now, they're experts in building families, but they don't have a lot of, imagine this Jennifer. She's been doing it for 20 years. She's amazing. She doesn't even like to work on PowerPoint, okay? Mm-hmm. So this is our place to help them, first of all, to go from offline to online and have this whole process digitalized. And also, we're very good listeners, and we realized that after COVID, the major pain point for them was to recruit surrogates, because there are any. There's a huge shortage of surrogates. So if you're listening and you're thinking about becoming a surrogate, let's speak, because
I want to know if this show made a baby.
Yeah.
That's something that I want to know.
You see, that's what I want to know every morning when I wake up. Will this day be over with a baby?
So literally, I mean, a lot of people have their mission statements for their companies. Your mission statement is to create families.
Yes, we're building families. We're doing everything we have in our power to give them the reliable information that they're looking for, to listen to their needs, and to solve every barrier in the way. Because basically, when you find the right match at the beginning of your surrogacy journey, then probably your journey will be smoother, with less hiccups, and it will be shorter and much more cost effective. So we're the matchmakers.
Amazing. And so tell me a little bit about the regulatory part of this whole, because it sounds to me like for the last few decades, the way that this has worked is you mentioning surrogates have to go through 6 months of testing and different home visits to make sure that they're providing the right, I guess, care, support, both physiologically and mentally for the upcoming baby. How does this fit into a more digital experience, right, with expecting?
Right now, what we do, intended parents can come to our platform. They can find the agency that they want to work with or a specific surrogate. They can book an appointment and have a Zoom call with them. And then we also give them the option to have another mental health professional screening process privately on their own terms, someone that will reflect their best interests, and have another revision on the screening process that has already been done. So that's an option as well. We also share all the regulation in each state because it changes from state to state. And right now, if we're talking about legislation, then there's a huge drama in the United States. And it doesn't have a direct effect, although we do know that the red countries, intended parents would not want to go into a surrogacy journey in a place where they cannot terminate the pregnancy in case that there's any concern, medical concern for the surrogate or for the fetus. So right now, if we're speaking about the global shortage of surrogates, now there are even less options. That means the prices might increase again. So we're doing our best. We're taking our tech capabilities and our marketing capabilities to try and, target our campaigns to recruit surrogates from more liberal countries so it won't affect the shortage of surrogates.
Sure. What are the motivations for surrogates?
It changes. Every surrogate has a different story, but I think
they're complex stories, right? It's not a
my story is complex. Your story is complex. We're all humans. We all carry some bag on our shoulders.
Some products are simpler than others, and some use cases simpler. Here, it sounds like this is a long journey. Besides the money that's associated with it, this is a lengthy process. They
come to the surrogacy journey after they already had at least one child of their own, and it's recommended that they're.
Is that a must?
Yes, it's a must.
Why is that?
Because it's recommended that you'll first of all, you have to finish with building your own family.
Okay.
So if something goes south, if something medically will happen, then you won't regret the fact that you did it. Mm-hmm. It's very, very important to keep the surrogate safe.
Sure.
So they're making sure that she's done building her own family, and then she's ready to move on and help another family build a family. Mm-hmm. And most of the times we see that a surrogate that did it once and it went okay, no journey goes smoothly, but it went okay. We see repeated surrogates that are doing it again and again, 3 times.
Wow.
So yeah, I've spoken with many, many surrogates, and they're super inspiring because they look at it, they say, I don't look to mother the baby, but some of them will be able to have a connection with her and have an open relationship, which we didn't used to have in the past. Same goes for egg donation. Some of the egg donors, actually 90% of the egg donors that were suggested to have an open relationship with the intended parents will actually agree to that.
Really?
And then imagine that you know her status today, you know how healthy she is today, but within 20 years, something may pop up and you would like to have this, medical insurance and know that you have the ability to touch base with her. So there's a lot going on. Think about sperm donation. It's the opposite. It's a bank and it's frozen and you have the genetic test that they already did. I can speak about it for hours.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, go back to sort of your place here with what you're doing with Expecting AI, because you're not just creating a product. You're a part of a new, a new world, a new thinking process for the way that families are being built.
I think that I was always looking for a place to have an impact in the world since I was a little girl, okay, in the youth groups and everything. And when I went working on an ad agency and later on for corporates, I was doing my job very, very well. With all modesty, I was the best. And I was working with market leaders and the products were selling very, very good and everybody was very, very, very happy. But at the end of the day, I felt like I'm taking my marketeer talents and I'm not really doing anything with it. Mm-hmm. So right now I have the ability to touch people's heart, to help them with one of the major decisions in their lives. I thought that, buying a car or buying an apartment might be the hardest decision that a family needs to make. And now, when you realize the customer journey of bringing a child to the world through surrogacy and egg donation, you realize how many stops there are in the way, how many search questions, queries, how many pain points in the way that you need to listen to and find a way to solve them. And when we do, every promille step, every small step, it's rewarding. So this gives me the drive to go straight ahead. And being a woman founder, which I just realized it's an issue. Yeah, where I don't think that I paid enough attention to it at first. I thought, hey, I'm Ronny and I'm doing what I want to do. But as this startup is growing, I start to realize that we do have some responsibility because we have to work harder than you guys. And usually we're the only women in the room with many, many other men. And we need to prove ourselves, or at least we feel like we need to prove ourselves. And now there might be a woman in the audience that is listening to us right now, and she's thinking, shit, should I do this? Should I go for it? But I have a family, or I don't have a family, and I want to find the ability for me to pursue my dreams and run for it. It's a lot, but first I say yes, then I freak out, and then I make it happen.
I love that mantra. And that's very inspiring. I love that outlook. And we're certainly, talking about creating an equal opportunity for men and women, especially when it comes to the C-level and founder teams, definitely very far from where it needs to be.
But we're heading there. Hopefully, we're heading there. I see more and more of my colleagues, breaking the ceiling, so the glass ceiling. So hopefully.
Well, I have to say that at least through the show, we've had pretty much an equal amount of men and women coming on the show, and it's constantly mind-boggling me, as a Generation Z, coming into this world and coming into the workforce. I still don't understand why, right? Why? And we study in these history books all these crazy laws and the crazy progress that has been made from the lack of equality. And as a young entrepreneur and a young thinker, I'm constantly thinking to myself, how the hell did they come up with these weird rules, and what happened to the history of society that has led to this point? Because for me and my friends, it's so trivial that that there's equality and equal opportunity, and it should be this way. And we see tech companies, I believe AT&T just today announced their great compensation. But we're running out of time, and I want to make sure that I'm getting to this question. You have a very significant role within Expecting. Yes. You're the chief marketing officer. In other words, you're responsible for telling the story of Expecting. I'm a
storyteller. Yeah, that's true.
And you're doing it in a way, in a place, in an industry that requires market education big time.
Big time.
I did not know that 1 in 6 people in the world have problems with fertility. Why don't I know that? And how are you, as chief marketing officer, thinking through your position to educate the market for this?
I think that it's a very, very private process that each individual is going through with themselves. And you will be able to speak about it when you overcome it. So our role is to take something that is certain taboo, something that people don't like to hear about. They don't like to hear about surrogates. They don't like to hear about egg donation.
Sure.
They prefer to think that, babies come to the world easily. But as we grow up, we know that every baby is a miracle, even if you don't need a surrogate or an egg donation. So basically, we need to tell the untold story. If I'll tell you my magic, I'll have to kill you. But I can tell you that it all starts with listening very, very carefully. So we're spending a lot of time on social media because that's where the discussion is being held right now. So it's not only paid media and PPC and LTV and, no, it's listening. And it's just to get the audience where they're receptive to your message and telling them what they need to hear in the exact point. So sometimes it's as simple as listening to their question on social media and giving them the answer with the right link to your blog, with the right video conversation with a mental health professional, with the right link to the Zoom appointment that they can schedule. And then it starts from there. 30% of our social media leads will end up, meeting with an agency.
Wow.
You cannot reach that.
The intent is extremely high.
Because they're already there. Now imagine that they have to post a post about themselves and their history and what each of the couple is doing, and they have to put it out there. And what if their grandma will see it? This is wrong. This is not how it should be.
Right.
So I have a huge vision about how it should be. And let's speak in a year. And we'll see where I am.
I love it. Ronny, incredible mission.
Thank you.
Challenging journey. You're not just building a marketplace, you're changing narratives and you're creating market education. And this past week has shown us how far away we are with creating the right narrative. Very unfortunately, but these types of companies make me hopeful for the future and inspired. And thank you for a lovely conversation. Definitely a topic that I know too little about, and I'm going to spend some time myself diving into it because it's so ingrained in our society. I had no idea how ingrained, and so it sounds like this is not just for people who are experiencing this to dive deep into once they discover those news, but it's as a society educational tool for us to be able to understand each other and provide the right solutions. And maybe part of the problem of what we saw this past week in the United States is this lack of market education, this lack of narrative.
I agree.
And hopefully expecting will have a positive impact on changing a lot of these things. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I had a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thank you.